On September 13th, 2012, exactly 4 years ago tonight, then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was blaming a, quote, disgusting and reprehensible anti-Muslim video for the Benghazi terror attacks that killed 4 Americans, including U.S. Ambassador Chris Stevens, an explanation that still sparks debate today. Tonight, for the first time as a private citizen, the last person to speak to Ambassador Stevens is speaking out. Gregory Hicks was Ambassador Stevens' number 2 guy. He first went public in 2013 in explosive congressional testimony, claiming desperate pleas for security in Benghazi fell on deaf ears in Mrs. Clinton's State Department. He joins us tonight. Greg Hicks is the former Deputy Chief of Mission for Libya, who just retired after a distinguished 25-year career. Greg, thank you so much for being here. And so what you have come out to say is that Mrs. Clinton cannot be trusted, in your words, with the security of the nation. Why?
Well, it's important that we look at the Benghazi experience in that exact context. Mrs. Clinton delegated her legal security obligations to others. Those obligations to protect official Americans overseas and especially in Benghazi. The law says that responsibility rests with the Secretary of State. And what happened is that our security complement in Tripoli was reduced from 34 to 6, so that when Chris Stevens went to Benghazi, we could only let him take 2 security officers with him instead of the dozen or more that he should have had. The results are well known.
She claims, now Mrs. Clinton claims that she gave very direct instructions to people who have expertise in security to make sure everything was secure.
Well, that's right, and you're making the point that I made, that she delegated those responsibilities and that she didn't pay attention afterwards. And consequently, she must bear the responsibility for those outcomes. In addition, she delegated the decision to divide our personnel in Benghazi between 2 facilities. And that decision cannot be delegated according to the law.
But I think one of the things that gets lost is that this was a time when the facility that you were at in Benghazi, Libya, there had been 2 bomb attacks on the consulate in the prior 6 months. The British and the Red Cross had both pulled out of Benghazi over security concerns. Ambassador Chris Stevens had been begging for additional security, which she did not provide. And
Correct.
Somehow the Clinton supporters have managed to turn this into, you're some sort of conspiratorial hater if you want to talk about Benghazi.
Well, and her spinmeisters are very good at this. But the truth is that she and her delegated authorities took our security away. And as the report by the majority of the Benghazi committee indicated, there were no military forces standing by to come and rescue us if something happened.
So you're not going to vote for Mrs. Clinton. Are you a Republican? Are you a partisan guy?
I have been a professional diplomat for many years. I have voted for the person that I think is the best candidate, and I will not vote for Mrs. Clinton because I don't think she's the best candidate.
So are you endorsing Donald Trump?
I have not decided who I intend to vote for yet.
Greg Hicks, thank you for being here. Thanks for your service, too.
Thank you.
Joining us now with more, Mark